The story for Tekken 8 is gonna be phenomenal. With the recent Tekken Talk Live, we got 4 minutes of gameplay and cutscenes for this game, and they were beautiful. So today, I'm going to analyze, speculate, and break down the Tekken story cutscenes that we've gotten so far. See if we can piece together this puzzle that we've been given. When the game releases, it'll be interesting to see if I get any of this right. So let's do it. I'm going to start off by recapping every cutscene we've seen so far, and then I'll go into the theories that I have for this game. So 9 months ago, we were shown the Tekken 8 story and gameplay teaser trailer. So we see Jin in this giant body of water sinking, saying that he lost. Wait a second, is this a Kingdom Hearts reference? And when he looks up, you can see this dark smoke figure reaching out its hand to save him. We then see Jun Kazama, Jin's mother, reaching out in the same exact way, with a child's hand coming into frame, which is obviously Jin. It then cuts to Devil Kazuya, who looks like he's about to obliterate New York, and then going to Jin promising that he'll kill Kazuya, with both of them turning into their devil forms and fighting it out in the sky. And the trailer ends with Jin slamming Kazuya's face into a building. So that's the first trailer we got, all the way back in like January. So now we move on to the recent Tekken Talk Live event, where we were given even more cutscenes. If you want a recap of everything that went down in the Tekken Talk, I made a video so that you don't have to watch the whole 2-hour event, and I talk about this cutscene quite a bit. But this cutscene starts off with Lars in a command center, tracking Jin through New York City. We see Jin riding through the streets of New York, tracking down Kazuya, who's in a helicopter. Jin then decides that gravity doesn't exist, and he's just gonna ride up the side of a building because this is Tekken. But he pulls a Captain America from Age of Ultron and just chucks his motorcycle at the helicopter, cause why not? Probably killing both the pilots, but he successfully brings Kazuya down to the ground, so I guess mission success? They then go back and forth with some banter about how it's Jin's fault that the world is basically on fire since he started a war back in Tekken 6. But cutting all the chit chat, they get into it and start throwing hands, with a cutscene thrown in here or there during the battle, and our first look at a QuickTime event. Kazuya finally provokes Jin into releasing his devil form. Or does he? Once you see Jin sprout wings, the screen goes black. And that's what we got so far for the storyline of Tekken, at least the main feud between Jin and Kazuya. But even before we got any of those cutscenes, we had the Tekken 8 official announcement trailer, which was a beautiful cinematic of Jin fighting Kazuya, and them having a conversation about how people like them shouldn't even exist in this world. And it plays out exactly like the scene in New York. So now, it's time for some theories. Theory number 1. All the story cutscenes we've been shown so far are part of one mission. Now when I say mission, I mean like a chapter in the story mode. And I think this chapter, or mission, starts off with Lars and Jin locating Kazuya. Then they set out on their mission to take him down. Once Jin confronts Kazuya, they then get into their battle. Jin eventually activates his devil gene and starts slamming Kazuya into buildings, causing them to start destroying New York. So I'm thinking that after Jin gives him a beatdown, Kazuya's just gonna get up, laugh, and be like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. And then all restraints are off and he's just gonna go ham. Cause like this scene of him lasering downtown, I think Jin is knocked unconscious. And I think that's where him falling in the water comes from. Now my next question slash theory would be, when does this take place in the overall story of Tekken 8? At the beginning of the game, the end of the game, sorta in the middle somewhere? It could be possible that this is the final fight between the two of them in this game, but I don't think it will be. And I'll tell you why. When Kazuya emerges from the flames of the helicopter crash, he looks at Jin and says, so he was alive all along. And this can be interpreted 2 different ways. Kazuya hasn't seen Jin since Tekken 6, so he thinks he's dead because of the confrontation with Azazel, or Azazel, however the heck you say his name. So now that he's finally seeing him, he says, oh, so you were alive all this time. Ultimately showing that even though everyone thought Jin was dead, Kazuya didn't believe it. Or if this scene does take place in the middle of the story, it means they had a confrontation before, earlier in this story mode, where they fought and Kazuya won, thinking that he defeated Jin once and for all. And I don't think that because of the way that he words it, alive all along, unless there's some time skip in the story mode, which is totally possible, there's no reason for him to say this. It's been confirmed that this story takes place 6 months after the events of Tekken 7. And since Kazuya hasn't seen Jin since Tekken 6, him saying alive all along makes sense because it's been a while since they've seen each other. So that's one way to think about it, but me personally, I want this to be almost exactly how the game starts off. Imagine how boss that would be. You load up story mode, maybe it's a black screen, you get some narration from Jin, maybe it's his thoughts, or maybe it's Jun Kazama and you get a flashback scene, and then it goes to this. Lars in the command ship, Jin chasing after Kazuya. Bro, it'd be so epic. They have this fight, but then eventually either Jin or Kazuya has to retreat. But then we have it to where Kazuya knows that Jin is alive, and so throughout the rest of the game, his one goal is to kill Jin. I think it'd be the perfect setup, which leads me into my next theory. The Tekken 8 announcement trailer is the finale. Now just bear with me because I have an alternate theory about this one in a little bit. But how cool would it be for their first confrontation in the story mode to be in New York City, and then for the final fight to be here. Just this setting on them on a mountain with the thunder, the lightning, the tornadoes, just the two of them. Nothing to get in their way. No civilians they have to worry about. They can go full force and unleash their full power on each other. It's practically the mirror image of Tekken 7's ending, with Kazuya fighting Heihachi in the volcano. It actually looks like they're on a volcano in this cutscene. I don't know why, but the Tekken series just loves volcanoes. But honestly, this is what I'd want for the finale. The environment, the two main characters duking it out. Bro, oh my gosh, it'd be so good. Which leads me to our final theory. The announcement trailer fight scene and the New York fight are exactly the same. I'm sure you guys have seen this floating around the internet already, and honestly, I don't want it to be true, but the evidence is there. There was a thumbnail I saw yesterday from a YouTuber that was comparing both of the clips side by side, and the similarities are there. The exact same camera movements. At some points, it's even down to like the punches that they show in the gameplay. Now, the only thing is the New York battle doesn't look as polished or as flashy as the announcement trailer, but it's the announcement trailer. It's not real gameplay. The New York fight is. And just comparing the two, the similarities are there, which I'm fine with. But the trailer just looks so good. It would make such an epic final battle. But I want to know what you guys think about all of this. What direction do you think Tekken 8's story is going to go? Do you think the cutscenes we've gotten so far are from the beginning of the game or the end? As always, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.